Imagine waking up tomorrow, looking out of your window and seeing a foreign military occupying your neighborhood. No electricity, no internet, just total brutal lockdown. Back in 2011, THQ released Homefront, a game written by John Milius, the brilliant mind behind the iconic movie Red Dawn. It painted a terrifyingly realistic picture of a fallen United States. It isn't just a standard shooter, it is when a global superpower completely collapses. Today we are diving deep into the lore, the horrific timeline, and the full bloody story of the American resistance. To truly understand the tragedy of Homefront, we have to look at how the world fell apart. It didn't happen overnight. In the early 2010s, North Korea undergoes a massive geopolitical shift. Kim Jong un successfully unites North and South Korea, forming a technological and military powerhouse known as the Greater Korean Republic, or the GRK. Shortly after, the GRK annexes Japan and other several Asian nations, growing into a massive empire. Meanwhile, America enters a death spiral. A global economic crisis collapses the US dollar, global oil supply collapses, pushing gas prices to over $20 a gallon. To make matters worse, a devastating strain of bird flu wipes out millions of American citizens, forcing the government to declare martial law. The country is bankrupt, sick, and completely fractured. In 2025, the GKR strikes the final blow. They launch a supposed communication satellite into the orbit. In reality, it is a high altitude nuclear weapon. They detonate it over North America, releasing a massive electromagnetic pulse. Instantly, the entire US power grid is fried. No lights, no communication, and no defense networks. The GKR military launches a massive, synchronized, ambitious invasion, capturing the western half of the United States. To secure this conquest, they drop irrigated waste into the Mississippi River, literally cutting the country in half. The resistance and the horror of Montrose. The actual game begins 2 years later in 2027 in the ruined town of Montrose, Colorado. You play as Robert Jacobs, a former US Marine helicopter pilot. Because you have flight experience, the GKR military targets you. They break into your room, arrest you, and throws you into a labor bus to be sent into a re-education camp. During this bus ride, the developers force you to witness the true horror of a modern occupation. Suddenly, a truck rams the bus. It's a rescue operation. You're pulled from the wreckage by the American resistance, led by a hardened, aggressive fighter named Connor, and a tactical planner named Ryan. They need Jacobs for one specific reason. The US military is planning a desperate counter-offensive, but the resistance is completely out of fuel. They need a pilot to help them pull off a massive heist. The journey to get the fuel is a descent into madness. Jacobs discovers the survival. He made the remaining American people desperate. You visit Freedom Town, a hidden community of survivors, only to watch it get totally wiped out by JKR white phosphorus attacks. The lines of morality blur even further during a mission involving a massive mass grave in a local baseball stadium. To escape overwhelming enemy forces, Jacobs and resistance are forced to literally hide inside a mass grave filled with the bodies of executed American citizens. It is a haunting moment that shows just how low the survivors have to sink to stay alive. Eventually, the team tracks down a convoy of JKR fueled trucks. In high stakes, chaotic highway chase, they manage to hijack the trucks, but to escape, Connor orders the use of chemical weapons against the occupiers. Ryan protests, arguing that they are becoming just as bad as the enemy, but Connor's mindset is clear: win at all costs. Final stand at Golden Gate. With the stolen fuel delivered remaining fractured US military forces, the stage is set for the climax of the game, the Battle of San Francisco. The goal: recapture the Golden Gate Bridge to allow American forces to launch a full-scale counterattack from the east. Jacob finally gets into the cockpit of a helicopter, providing close air support as US troops storm the bridge. The battle is pure chaos. GKR anti-air guns shred the American forces and the advance completely stalls. The US military is about to face total annihilation on the bridge. Realizing that they are out of options and out of time, Connor snaps. He grabs a smoke target flare, ignores Ryan's scream, and charges directly into a massive swarm of GKR armored vehicle and troops. He reduces the command center, ordering an immediate airstrike directly on his position. Connor sacrifices himself, choosing to die to ensure the enemy line is destroyed. The airstrike hits. Connor's sacrifice turns the tide. The blast clears the bridge, allowing the US military forces to successfully recapture San Francisco and secure a massive victory on